Hi guys, how are you all doing? Hope you're well, hope you're staying safe, and I hope you're doing lots and lots of fun stuff indoors. So what am I making today? I am making chocolate hazelnut halwa, and this is absolutely yummy. It's a great one to make for the kids. This is what they call the coarse, but I've kind of modernized my version of it and put hazelnuts and chocolate into it, and it tastes amazing. You don't have to put chocolate, you don't have to put hazelnuts, you can make a plain one if you like, but this is how you make it. So I have some water here in the pan at the back, and what I'm going to put in there is some sugar. So I'm going to boil my sugar and water mixture. I'm also just going to move that pan onto this side, so that's sugar and water, and I'm just going to leave it there on a low heat, just letting it boil, giving it one mix. And then in this pan, what I'm going to do is start by melting my butter. So I've actually already melted it, but just gonna, there's still some solid bits, so just wait for that to fully melt and just let that heat up. So this is coarse semolina that I'm going to be adding to my butter. If you don't have coarse and you have fine, you can do it with fine, but it's just a better texture if you can find coarse semolina. Okay, so my butter is fully melted. You can use ghee for this as well. You don't have to use butter, you can use ghee. So I've put my semolina into my butter, and now you're cooking this off and mixing all the time, because what you don't want it to do is the semolina to catch on the pan, so you are continually stirring, or stirring as much as possible. And from now it's almost like a waiting game. It cooks quite quickly, but it does take 5 to 6 minutes for the semolina to be cooked properly, depending on the heat. I've got it on a low to medium heat at the moment. What I want to happen is the semolina to go golden brown. And then how do you know this is ready, or the semolina is ready? You know when it releases. My dad tells me this. This is my dad's taught me this, but he says you know it's ready when the butter and semolina release a buttery aroma. Then you know your semolina and butter is ready for the next step. And the next step is what I'm doing in this saucepan over here, the water and the sugar, bringing that to the boil. And once it's boiling, we switch that off, and then you add the water and the sugar mix to your semolina. But before we do that, I'll get the chocolate cocoa powder in, and my hazelnuts can go in just after the water. So I'm going to let this cook for I think about five minutes or so, until my semolina is fully cooked. It's really important when you're making halwa that your semolina is cooked out properly and you don't leave it kacha, which means raw. Right, back to cooking, guys, and this is almost ready. It's starting to brown, it's starting to release a buttery smell. Let me show you. So that's exactly how I want it. So I'm not going to give you a set time because it depends on your burner and your heat, but you will know when it's done. It's gone golden brown and the buttery smell is surely released. So I'm going to put my cocoa powder in, and from this point onwards I need to work quite fast. So cocoa powder has gone in for a nice chocolatey taste. And now really carefully I'm going to switch off the water that's been boiling over here. And now this bit, please be careful when you do this bit. It's really important to be as careful as possible, because when you put the water in this, it will create steam and quite a big reaction. I just hope it doesn't steam up my lens. If it does, I'll have to stop and clean it, but it's okay. Okay, so that is definitely ready for my water. Here goes, guys. Be really careful, or as careful as you can. Right. Wow, the colour. Chocolate. This is my favourite chocolate. There we go. Okay, Now what you want to do is be really careful, take a step back, because as this cooks, it can start to spit as well. So the mixture now will start to thicken. And how do you know when this is done? I'll show you, hopefully you can all see this. And it's quite watery at the moment, but it will start to thicken up. At the moment it just looks like a hot chocolate, yeah, hot chocolate consistency. Yeah. Okay, it's already starting to thicken up. I've got it on quite a high heat. And then what I have here, so are some chopped roasted hazelnuts. Now, most people in their semolina pudding or Suji halwa add like almonds and pistachios. That's absolutely fine. I just love the combination of hazelnut and chocolate, so I have to put some hazelnuts in here. But I'm not going to put these in just yet. I'm just going to give it about a minute or so until it starts to thicken more and more, and it is starting to thicken. So quantity wise, I told you the secret. 1 semolina, 1 butter, 1 sugar, and 4 times the amount of water. I've added 2 teaspoons of cocoa, and that's why you have that nice color. Oh, it's really thickening up nice. Okay, and it will start to spit. And I know this because I've got burnt plenty of times before. So I know that this is what happens with semolina pudding. If it starts to spit too much, I'm going to run over there. Okay, so just try to mix it as well as you can. I've got a long stick, so just protecting my arms. Actually, I'm going to put these down as well. To get a shield. Actually, I might need a shield in a minute. If this starts to spit too much, I actually might need a shield. Wait, guys. Okay, I have a shield because this stops it from spitting on my face. You'll thank me for this later, this little tip that I'm giving you. Okay, it's really nice and thick, but it's not done yet. But I'm going to add now my chopped hazelnuts. Leave a few for garnish. Okay. Oh my god, this looks so good. Can you see that? Ooh. Oh, I'm really excited because this is one of my favourite puddings. Okay. And it's making funny noises. It's beginning to bubble and spit. But I have my shield. Okay, how do you know when this is done? You know this is done. Another secret. You know this is done when it stops sticking on the edges of the saucepan. It kind of unsticks, so it becomes one, and you know that it's done when it stops doing that. And this is not far off at all. Oh my god, it looks like melted Ferrero Rocher because the hazelnuts inside. Okay, this is yum. Okay, I don't think it's going to spit anymore. Oh, it might. Just, I'm shielding myself. But when you do put the water in, maybe just get someone to assist you. Keep the kids well away. But one of you mix the semolina and butter, and one of you add the water. Okay, so this is looking delicious already. I don't need the shield now. Okay, what I do need is to give it a good mix. And oh, can you see? You can just begin to see that it is starting to unstick from the edges of the pan. Almost, we're almost there. And that's how you know your semolina is almost done. So guys, if you like my recipes, please share them. Please request more and more. I'm trying my best to get through all these requests. There are lots of requests. I'm trying to do them as well as I can. I think tomorrow I'm going to do a, I've had requests for seafood, so a seafood dish I will do tomorrow. More vegetarian dishes I've had requests for, so I will try and get through some of the vegetarian dishes as well. Okay, this is really working my arms, which is great. Don't need to do a workout today. Okay, can you see now what's happened? It has started to stick less and less onto the edges of the pan. I'm almost at the stage I want it to be at. Quick, easy pudding to do at home. The kids love this. So it's exactly the same pudding as what you get when you go to the temple, the Kara Prasad. My brother likes this too, but he doesn't like all the nuts and stuff in it, or the chocolate. He just likes it plain. Okay, so, right, you can really see this now. This is what I want to show you. Can you see this? It's actually not sticking to the edges of the pan anymore. It's coming off the edges, and that is telling me that my semolina pudding, my chocolate hazelnut halwa, is completely ready. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed that recipe. Please do cook it at home and then share pictures with me. I'll be back. In the meantime, stay safe and stay happy. Bye.